To be honest, lying can make you a lot of money, and there are a lot of careers that you can do specializing as a liar. The first is like a scam artist. You know, you could be like Jay Morrison here with the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. You can lie and get millions of dollars, although you'll get clowned and people will never do business with you anymore. But that's one thing you can do. Another thing you can do is be a lawyer. Lawyers are really good at lying and not producing the work that they said they would. 3, a preacher. Being a pastor is the greatest thing you can do with this lie, because you can then sleep with your members while telling other people not to sleep with the members, and you're sleeping with the members and their husbands or their wives. Stop the show, yes, because some of these pastors go both ways. But fast forward, the best career that you can do as a liar is, drum roll please, a politician. Politicians are the best liars on planet Earth. No matter what country, what city, what state, nobody lies like politicians. They always promise, never deliver, and blame shift to somebody else when they mess up. Let me give you a great example of this. Lori Lightfoot was the mayor of Chicago from 2019 to 2023, all right? She promised to do many things, and she really did nothing. Businesses left the city like Boeing, Walmart, because of the crime and corruption going on in the city. Now, once she got put out of office, she blamed it all on the fact that people didn't like her because she was a black woman, okay? I'll play that clip.
And look, a lot of conservatives have also been dinging her for deflecting with stunts like this and by leaning in on certain identity issues, talking about being a black woman. And
she said in several interviews this week that this is why she lost literally yesterday, but she said before that, well, it's because I'm a black woman and they don't want a black woman in a leadership role.
Which was stupid and didn't make any sense. Now let's fast forward. Now we're in the era of Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, who is a progressive, whatever that means. I guess it means he's an ultra liberal guy, whatever that means also. And he's been in the office for 1 year. Give him a round of applause, right? That's great. He's been the mayor for a year. And they sat down with him to talk to him about his progress. And one of the first things that were talked about, I want you to hear what he blames it on.
Thus far.
What do you think you could have done better over the course of this last year?
The mayor had few misgivings, but like many mayors before him, said his toughest challenges are what he inherited.
I wish that we didn't have so many years of neglect and disinvestment. There are things that I want to move faster, right?
You were elected to fix those things too, by the way.
All of them, right? So I really wish that, the hole was not as deep.
Like every stupid mayor, he says, I inherited a lot of problems. That's why I was not effective. That's one of the reasons why I was not effective. I didn't know how bad things were. Well, did you say that when you were running for the office? No, that didn't come out your mouth. You wanted to be the mayor. You said you were gonna fix it, not make excuses for why you couldn't fix it. But then the question centered around how he's handling the migrant crisis. Let's check out what he has to say there.
It's not as deep.
Front and center has been the migrant crisis. The mayor now confident it's under control.
No other city in America has been able to handle this crisis as well as we have. If there's someone out there that's doing it better than Chicago, I would like to know, because we certainly will take notes.
Now, Brandon Johnson is on drugs, literally, okay? Brandon Johnson has real problems. He's saying that nobody handles the migrant crisis better than Chicago. If there's another place, he wants to see what that place is. Okay, but let's listen to some of these people and how they feel he's handling the migrant crisis.
From coming in. You just got to stop the buses coming in because it's hurting your people. I'm talking about descendants of enslaved Africans. We're hurting the things that our people been on the waiting list come for. The immigrants are coming in, getting everything, and I don't have time to go into all of it.
Here's another.
So now I'm looking as a single mom, what about us?
Like Kane, Jaquetta Vaughn's concern stems from a lack of resources for residents.
How about build something for the kids, the community, but instead this is the first thing that you do is build a tent city.
And another.
We need that money in my neighborhood. We need that on my block. That woman should not be at Cook County Jail because she's grieving over a random act of violence that caused her to lose her child in front of her face when the city of Chicago has millions upon millions upon millions of dollars to give to people who ain't paid a dime into the tax base.
Y'all whittling us out, and y'all doing it in such a gracious fashion. Y'all representing us as y'all do it. This what y'all doing.
Now, these particular streams that go on about Brandon Johnson as the mayor are all over the internet. Forbes breaking news, it's nothing but people there castigating him about how his administration has hidden money from the public, doing all sorts of crazy things, mismanaging the budget. What are you talking about? Brandon Johnson is the worst mayor in the country besides Tiffany Henyard. But then this next question was posed about the Democratic National Convention.
Take notes.
What do you do if there is a flood of buses full of migrants that show up during the DNC?
We're preparing for it. We have now structured our migrant temporary shelters to be able to manage this crisis a little better.
The question is, how are you going to handle the buses coming in from the Democratic National Convention? Well, we've already figured out how he's going to try to do that now.
Now to some confusion over the migrant crisis. The mayor's office planned to possibly relocate hundreds of new arrivals to the south side ahead of the Democratic National Convention, despite strong opposition from neighbors and also the alderwoman of that ward.
Now the mayor's office admits they never spoke to the building owner of Canaryville Space before looking to turn it into a shelter. CBS 2's Sabrina Franza explains.
Hidden behind a tree-lined street, this warehouse in the Canaryville neighborhood was under consideration to become Chicago's newest migrant shelter.
It's a warehouse that hasn't been used in so many years.
Michelle Gussich confused why Mayor Brandon Johnson, who has said repeatedly that he intends on consolidating the city's migrant shelters, might open another one in her neighborhood.
I understand Mayor Johnson has a tough job, but he signed up for that job.
So you see, he's already trying to hide those people from the Democratic National Convention. You see, the reality is this. Brandon Johnson is just a pawn in the Democratic National game of politics. Put a black face up there, let him get destroyed, bring in somebody else black, let them get destroyed, and let their career be over like Lori Lightfoot's career is over. That's pretty much what it is. Then he wants to make excuses about his administration. Don't be surprised if the next mayor of Chicago is going to be Latino or white. Lori Lightfoot, hey, it's out the door. Brandon Johnson, he'll get one term, right? Then you're going to see that black mayors in Chicago will most likely be no more. Don't be surprised if Chicago turns, I know you guys don't want to hear this, Republican. The reality is that black politicians do not have black people at the heart of the struggle. Doesn't matter that they have a black wife, they come from the west side of Chicago, they grew up in the black community. When they become mayor, they're pawns of the party that they are loyal to. And that has nothing to do with loyalty to the African American community. But Brandon Johnson is gonna get his Negro wake-up call soon enough. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of Fair Use. I'm out.